Flow state is bullshit. Hear me out. When flow state's in work, and when you're actually in the midst of doing something, that's when you make the most work, right? We all know this. When our minds are actually focused on something, and there are no distractions around, that's when we make the most progress. That's when our minds operate at their peaks. That is when we get the most work done. That's when we are the most confident. It is when our minds are actually engaged in the task in front of us. But the way you think about flow state, that's bullshit. There's a significant difference between the two. Trust me. The reason as to why you struggle with getting into a flow state with so many tasks, whether if it's trying to be social, whether if that's getting more work done, whatever, it's because you're thinking about flow state. This is the flow state paradox, right? Guys who are more introverted can probably understand this, but I'm going to give you an example. You know this feeling when you want to walk up to somebody and you just feel this restriction, right? You want to walk up to this person, but you just can't, right? You can't find the confidence to do it. So you start thinking to yourself, oh yeah, I need to be more confident. I need to be more confident, right? And now when you try to walk up and speak to that person, your mind is still thinking. You're not actually focused on the conversation. It's almost as if you're speaking to two people, right? Because here you have the person in front of you, but you also have your own mind telling you things. You also have those manual thoughts in your brain. And now you're getting distracted. Now you're not fully focused. And that's how our attention spans get fucked up. Besides scrolling, that is, right? How do we prevent this? The issue is that your way of thinking about flow state is wrong, as we just discussed, because flow state is meant to be spontaneous. This is the trick. This is why it's so annoying or hard to explain to so many people. Flow state is like breathing. You know how if you try to breathe manually right now, so do this with me. Take a deep breath and exhale. For the remainder of this video, all you'll be thinking about is breathing. Now you're stuck breathing manually and you cannot snap back into automatic breathing, right? That's just how stupid our bodies are. And the catch is that it's the same thing with flow state. We are such simple human beings that when we are told not to think about something, we can't. Because by not thinking about that thing, we have to think about that thing for us to not think about that thing. It's autistic. It's stupid. Not trying to defend anyone, of course, but this is just the way we are. And the same thing happens with flow state, with just any other task. All tasks fall into this category. This is why you have that one song stuck in the back of your mind, always playing when you don't want it to play. When you want to focus on that task in front of you, but that one random song, maybe it's Despacito, maybe it's fucking Gummy Bear, maybe it's any of these songs that we all know. It's stuck and you can't get it out. Why? It's because you think about unstucking that thought. And the only way you can just get out of this entire paradox is to direct your focus to something else. This is also where things get tricky. See, let's use the social skills scenario because this is very easy to explain on social skills, right? I'm a social skills channel if you don't know, so obviously this is more relevant. When you are in a conversation, or even before you're in a conversation, really, when you want to speak to somebody that you don't know, in a weird way, the more you think, the worse you'll actually perform. The worse your mind's focus will be. Because the more time you spend coming up with every single possible scenario, right? Every single way you could mess up in front of that person. Maybe you can trip on the way walking towards them and they'll find you funny. Maybe you'll stutter while saying something and they'll also find you funny. And as your mind's coming up with all of these excuses, all of these thoughts, now that you actually try to walk up to that person, your mind is so invested in its own thoughts that it cannot focus on what's in front of them. Because there's too many things happening at once and now you're in this anxious state. There you go. I just explained the entirety of social anxiety to you. So the only way you can prevent it, and this is the harsh thing, this is the hard part, but you gotta walk up to that person before your even mind gets the time to think about those negative things. It's going to take a little bit of effort. I just want to come out and say it. It will be difficult to do at first. And you're going to have to go through a lot of these hard attempts. But it's like any other skill, right? The more you get into it, the more you build it up, it just gets easier. Confidence is not a skill, but social skills are. It's in the name, social skills. Just remember this, right? Because a lot of people like to bullshit you online. They will tell you that confidence is a skill. Confidence is not a skill because you can recall to moments in which you are more confident than others, right? But that's just a topic for another day, right? I've made like tens of videos about it if you want to check them out. But social skills, they are the skill. And that's what you can level up, right? By speaking to more people more often, you can start to develop this confidence. You can let it out. That's when it feels less restricted and you can feel more confident in these scenarios. Same for work. The more time you spend thinking about, oh my gosh, oh, I need to get this work done. Oh, I can't get myself to do it. It is when you actually stand in front of the task and you get to it as soon as your mind tells you to do it, instead of sitting there and coming up with excuses. That's when you get that work done. I know it's very tricky. I know it might be very hard to understand, right? So you might want to watch this video a few times for you to actually get it. But I hope that the majority of you actually understands my point, right? Once again, I know it's pretty confusing, but you get the general idea. Just don't fall into this flow state paradox, because even to me, it happens very often in which I want to do something, but because I am thinking about doing that thing, I can't actually get myself to do it. And this is something that I really, really want you to be aware of, right? Because flow state is the type of topic that a lot of people think that they need to be educated on it. They'll watch so many of these videos of how do I get into a flow state? How do I improve my focus, right? And in a weird way, by watching these videos, they're making their focus even worse, right? So I really don't want you to fall into this rabbit hole, right? Because it might have already happened to you. And I just want what's best for you, right? But I also don't want to waste your time. Therefore, because I don't have any further value in this video, let's get straight to the point. If you want to talk to me directly, whilst hanging around a community that actually understands your problems, somebody who you can finally relate to on your journey, believe me when I tell you, my Discord server is a place like no other. Genuinely, you will not find a community like us anywhere else. If you join the server right now, I promise you, I'll be the first one to welcome you there. And it's not because we have 5 members. No, don't worry about that. The Discord's doing very good. It's just that I am so invested in your development that I'm willing to help you there for free. You get the point? Obviously, don't expect me to become your full-time coach. No, it's like, we're not like that. But if you have an issue, just like tell me about it. Of course, we can talk things out. Don't worry. I genuinely enjoy helping people with that stuff. So feel totally free to join. Discord is literally free too, right? So you have zero risk in at least trying, right? But I feel like I'm kind of yapping. And since I'm not selling you any product, there's no point in me further advertising it, right? Do whatever you think is right. Here's my cat, in case y'all wondered. My cat's doing mighty fine. You wanna give us a meow to the camera? Of course you don't, you're too busy sleeping. Okay, I'm not gonna waste any of your time. By saying that, I actually wasted so much of your time. Anyways, you should totally click all the videos. Damn. And subscribe as well. That would genuinely mean a lot. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next video. So keep working, brother. And take care.